Alright, hello everyone, how are you all doing today? I myself am doing well. I missed my chance to do this video yesterday because I had an interview for some more work. I have been unemployed during this whole COVID-19 stuff, uh, so I was pretty tired of 4-hour bus trip, get to the interview and back, and so I wanted to do the video today, and that is a character profile or more world building for Higher Than the Sky, which, if you're new to my channel, is a comic book story I have, and you can check out the early drafts of the story down in the description down below. I have a link to my Wattpad. And if you enjoy my content, go ahead and leave a like, maybe even subscribe, and definitely leave a comment on how I can improve the story. Now, today I am doing a character profile because last week I did a pretty big video on the Underground, which is the city that Victor grows up in. And in it, I described the five slumlord leaders, uh, which was, again, Boss Wreck, Big Business, Granny Nobody, Alpha Pack, and Ms. Glory. And so today I wanted to go into a little more detail into Boss Wreck himself, as as he is one of my favorite characters, although he is going to show up in the story relatively briefly. Um, Most of the stuff that happens on well, I shouldn't really say too much, or it'll give it away, I suppose. So let's just get into the meat of the situation. So, Boss Wreck is, like all the other slumlord leaders, represents the ideal version of the gang. So he is, of course, a one-man wrecking crew, and that's where the last name comes from. So his name is literally Boss Wreck. Uh, the way the naming scheme works in the underground, I should remind you, is you grow up as a nameless until you either achieve enough or have a physical characteristic prominent enough to earn you a first name. For example, Victor, as a nameless, he won enough fights against other nameless to eventually earn the title of Victor. If Victor wanted to become Victor Wreck, he would just simply join Boss Wreck's crew, the Rex for short, and or he can establish his own crew. But that is very difficult to do in the underground, especially if he started doing a territory build-up within Boss Wreck's again um, territory. I couldn't come up with another word. I'm sorry about that. Uh, so Boss Wreck would obviously not look kindly on that and quickly shut him down as soon as he found out. Besides going back to Boss Wreck's personality, I essentially tried to make him a perversion of the strongman trope. Well, he's close to what Gaston from Beauty and the Beast is, just someone who's strong and skilled and tough, but somehow charismatic as well. Although I want to lead more on the charisma. It's essentially, this guy has done a lot of bad stuff, will continue to do bad stuff, and has the power to do so as well. But that I want to write him in a way that you still somehow uh, like his members, understand why they follow him. I suppose that's what you want to do with any good leader, is you want to understand why people follow them. And so Boss Rec, once again, is this muscle bound behemoth of a guy. He is the tallest character in the series, clocking in at 6'7". I don't want to go dramatic and go directly for 7 foot, but then again, it is supposed to be a comic, so I just might make him something like 7 foot tall. And he is also one of the oldest. Not one of the oldest. Well, in the underground for sure, he is one of the oldest people. Because you don't live very long, obviously. I would say about 48. I think that would be a fair age to make him. He still could be within his prime and such. And so, yeah, he controls the territory closest to Granny Nobody's territory, and he is locked in battle with mostly Alpha Pack, because they're essentially well, I'll get to them in their own video. But yeah, major enemy would be Alpha Pack. Neutrality with both Big Business and Granny Nobody. And with Ms. Glory, I would say that they have mutual respect for each other. Although, if they had opportunities to take the territory from one another, they would easily do so. Let me think. Any other things worth mentioning? Oh, so I mentioned his height. I don't know if it would be fun to make him bald or to give him hair. Definitely gonna have a beard, which could have some graying on it. That'd be fun, I suppose. Bars across his body. I'm not too sure if he should wear a shirt or not. As funny as that sounds. Once again, he's a brief character in the story. I don't want Victor just going to each slumlord and having a profound conversation with each. I want it to seem difficult, even for a main character, protagonist type, who has these special skills to meet a slumlord leader. Yes, that should about do it. And yes, sorry for dragging that on a bit. I'm really trying to think of if anything else before ending this, and kind of regretting being like, oh no, I should have thought of that. I suppose I could pause the recording right here for a second and come back to it. Yes, here we go. This is the last thing I wanted to mention. It was in one of my earlier drafts, and I somehow forgot about it. I wanted to mention that Boss Rec is fond of wrestling his men under him, so that's how he determines the hierarchy as well. So Broken Rec is his second in command, or a recruiter, and Savage Rec is someone he looks fondly to because of how they wrestle with each other. There we go. That was the last thing I wanted to mention. Just a neat little character moment that I'd like to write in. Excuse me. So that about does it for this video. I want to thank you once again for checking it out. If you have any comments on how I can improve my story, please go ahead and leave them down below. Otherwise, go ahead and subscribe so you can get more videos and where you can find more character profiles and world building for Higher Than the Sky. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.